Okay, as soon as I hear go, I will start. Okay, as soon as I hear go, I will start.
You can start, Joe.
Good afternoon. Very well, welcome to today's session. Thank you to the participants who have joined us today. Thank you to the Income management team for inviting me here to moderate this session. It gives me a great pride to be moderating here. The hospitality and tourism industry was the first step in my career, so I feel a duty to give back, and especially in these very, very challenging times. So this is the third webinar, Companies' Benefits of Dual Cooperative Education, Experiences and Insights. From this webinar series on skills for today and tomorrow, tourism education, employability and industry university cooperation, this webinar will offer an insight into actual experiences with cooperative learning presented from a business perspective. Business leaders will share their approach for the ideal inclusion of higher education students into their companies, benefiting from the assets they contribute during their study time, but as well benefiting themselves as having qualified employees to join their team after the completion of their studies. But it's not only about positive things. We will have some of our speakers today who will also report about the difficult challenges and how to overcome them, and might leave some open questions for the audience to reflect upon. One important announcement is we are also this wealth of speakers that we have presented here today is to give an opportunity for the audience to put in their questions. So during the webinar, we invite you to ask your questions in the chat at the right column of the YouTube live stream. Without further ado, I will come to the first part of today's session, and I would like to introduce Connie Meyer-Bonde. I have a very impressive CV here, and I think we started off right away on the right foot. Connie is Professor and Dean of Studies at the Center for Tourism and Hospitality Studies at the Baden-Württemberg Cooperative State University, in short, the HBW Ravensburg. Her work focuses on service and tourism management, as well as marketing and qualitative social research. But not only that, Connie is involved in numerous public internal and professional committees and has published numerous publications. In addition, she is a member of the Senate at the Baden-Württemberg Cooperative State University and is a member of the Advisory Council for Tourism Matters at the Federal Ministry for Economic Affairs and Energy, as well as the Tourism Committee of the German Chamber of Commerce and Industry, the IHKT. Connie will be interviewing Mr. Bernard Zeff as an experience, and his experience as a leading professional, leading industry expert from Hotel Erbrenz. But before that, before I pass to Connie, I will ask the team, the coordinating team, to show us a video which will lead us to this. Thank you.
So, Joe, I can't see you right now, but I'm very happy to see you. Thank you very much for the warm welcome here today. And the last time we met was in the conference, on the conference in Malta. I remember that very good. I'm delighted that we have a very special guest with us today. Welcome, Bernhard Zepf. Bernhard Zepf is the hotel owner of the hotel called Alp Prince and the managing director. He has been with his company as a dual partner at our university for many years. He's also involved in the training of young people through an honorary position. You are, Bernhard, you are president of the FHG Association. This is a cooperation of hotels for additional training at the, I would say, highest level for hotel apprentices. Thank you, Bernhard, for being with us today. And what a great movie as an introduction to your wonderful hotel, Bernhard. Thank you for allowing us to show a few segments. The video can be watched in full length on Vimeo for those interested in seeing more. It is worth it. Bernhard, thank you very much for sharing your experiences on dual education with us today. Would you please, in addition to what we just saw, give us a short introduction to your hotel, please?
I would be happy to, Connie. The Alp Prince in Ettlingen is a privately owned and owner-managed 5-star hotel, rich in tradition and history. Named for the first time in 1788 as a coaching inn for travelers with stables for 40 horses. It outlasted the ravages of the time. After World War II, it started to rise up to the top league of the hotel business. In 1966, the Hotel Alp Prince was awarded its first Michelin star, and the second one followed in 1973. After acquiring the hotel in 1999, we expanded the Alp Prince to a total of 123 rooms and suites and added a spa section. Currently, we employ about 170 people, 30 of which are apprentices in various vocational trainings like chef, hotel specialist, or restaurant specialist. We also train 1 to 3 students of the DHBW Ravensburg every year. Yes, that's the answer of your question. Up to this.
Conny, dein Mikrofon ist aus.
Sorry. Thank you, Stefan. Bernhard, we both know each other personally for a long time, but since when have you, as a company, as Hotel Alp Prince, have been cooperating as a dual partner with our university?
So I'm starting in 1985. In 1985 already I've actively contributed to the foundation of the FHG Association, a cooperation of additional training at the highest level for hotel apprentices. For more than 10 years, I've been the chair of this organization. Together with the other board members, we contribute to the contents of the Hotel and Gastronomic Study Program of DHBW. Right from the beginning, in my involvement at Alp Prince, we have been employing DHBW students. We, the managers in the private hotel and gastronomic sector, find it enriching to deepen the practical and theoretical contents of vocational trainings by the academic aspects the DHBW delivers. The combination of practical employment and theoretical studies provides added value to all involved, the students, the training business, and the whole industry.
Thank you for sharing your point of view. And how I would like to know how many of students have you as a company, with your company, already contracted for training? And have you continued to, or how many have you continued to employ after their graduation?
Let me tell you what I think is ideal. Connie, I think the ideal setup is to first complete a classic vocational training to become a chef or hotel gastronomy specialist before studying hotel and gastronomy management at the DHBV. Often, some of our most qualified apprentices have the desire to crown their vocational training with a DHBV study program, and we offer it to 1 to 3 of them per year, but we also hire student applicants from outside when we deem it beneficial. Currently, several of our management positions are filled by DHBV graduates. This includes, for example, the position of our human resources manager, our business assistant, or our director. These are all examples of successful careers in the hotel business. If the graduates express the desire to stay employed in our house, in almost 100% of the cases, we can make them an offer. We are very proud of our graduates and are always pleased to accompany them on their career path after the completion of their studies.
And we are proud being a partner, Bernhard. The advantages for studies are, obviously, we discussed this for a long time as well in our last webinar. But Bernhard, where do you see the added value for investing in the education in the students as a company?
The study program builds on the practical skills developed during the vocational training occupation. The students learn and experience the theoretical contents, which are focused on business-oriented and economic aspects, and get to apply the acquired knowledge directly in the practical term. This combination of studies and practical reality is unique and makes the difference in comparison to strictly theoretical study programs.
Let's speak about the, for us in this project, so important topic of soft skills. How do you, as a managing director or your team, recognize soft skills of your applicants, and how, in your opinion, can soft skills be learned and developed in the company?
Of course, it's easiest when applicants have already gone through a vocational training in our hotel. But that is not the only possibility to apply for the DHBV study program in cooperation with the Alpens. Our primary selection criterion is the passionate desire of the applicant to engage in our business sector with the classical skills and talents that are precondition in the top hotel business. These are above: physical robustness, joy from the interaction with people, service orientation, flexibility, multicultural interest, capacity for teamwork, empathy, enthusiasm, curiosity, and the time management in regards to the scientific assignments during practical terms. In order to prepare the students for their future leadership roles, we give them quite a lot of responsibility rights from the beginning of their studies. We have a lot of outlets. For example, our Alm, a rustic restaurant with a lodge feeling in the winter time, or the cultural beer garden in the summer, both mainly managed by our students. That way, they have the chance to learn how to manage their own future business. Yes.
Thank you, Bernhard. And we don't have too much time, but the last question, are there any additional aspects you would like to mention?
I I think the combination of theory and practice and the teaching of both knowledge parts correlates exactly with the requirements of our business sector today and in the future. Both pillars of the study program fuel and inspire each other and develop congruently. The exchange of content of the practical training and the business study program advances our whole industry and leaves it equipped for the future. Not only chains and group hotels benefit from the high level of education that the DHBW provides, but also privately owned individual business. And also people aiming to set up their own business find themselves ideally prepared for a successful career. We are very pleased to be a partner of the DHBW, and we would like to thank you all involved persons and institutions for their engagement, also on behalf of the FHG. Thank you so much, Conny.
Thank you, Bernhard. We are pleased as well to have you with us. Thanks for your time, for your point of view. And I'm sure that your description were very interesting for our international partners. Thank you very much, Bernhard.
Thank you so much.
And now, thank you. And now I'm happy and proud to announce another wonderful guest. He and his company have also been a dual partner of our university for many years. We also work together on other projects. And his name is Patrick Schreib. Patrick, I can see you. Welcome. And so Tanti and others know him maybe as well from the conference in Malta. Patrick, you are a destination manager of 2 destinations. The first destination is called Baiersbronn. This is a more or less little village in the Black Forest. And the second destination, it's the wider region around the national park, the young national park, Black Forest. And Patrick, you first completed an apprenticeship as a chef. Then you studied at our university, so you got your college degree from DHBW, and we are very proud to have you with us as a dual partner now. You are a successful, or you has been a very successful destination manager for more than, I think, 10 years. Correct me if that's not true. So thank you very much for being with us, Patrick. The stage is yours, and I think, I'm not sure, maybe you have a bit problem with sharing your presentation. Maybe you just tell what you would like to say. Welcome again, Patrick. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you very much, Connie. Unfortunately, I can't share my presentation with you, and you have to imagine how beautiful the Black Forest is. And for those who met us in Malta, I tried to explain and to do a little bit marketing to come over to us to the Black Forest. Unfortunately, today it's raining. The host muted me. Sorry. Yes, my computer broke down, so I can show you the presentation. Just some figures. Baiersbronn, a little village in the middle of the Black Forest, has got 15,000 inhabitants and 840,000 overnight stays, with 220,000 arrivals. So it's a little village, but the main economic thing is tourism. We have the highest concentration of Michelin-starred restaurants. So Bernhard grew up in Baiersbronn, and his brother runs a 4-star hotel in Baiersbronn, so he knows exactly what Baiersbronn is. We have 8 Michelin stars, but only 15,000 inhabitants. So this is what made Baiersbronn internationally known. So the foodies from all over the world come to Baiersbronn to go in one of the 4 Michelin-starred restaurants. And on the other side, Connie, you said that we since 7 years, I think, we have the Black Forest National Park situated right in Baiersbronn. So we founded a new destination management organization, the National Park Region. We only founded in November. We had the founding of this destination. Coming to Baiersbronn again, to the Baiersbronn Touristic, we are an organization with 100 employees, not only full-time employees, but 100 employees, and we are responsible from the infrastructure like mountain bike trails, hiking trails, a lot of venue places. We organize a lot of events, but at the same time, the marketing for sure and the international marketing. And I think with the company Baiersbronn Touristic, we are partnered with the DHBW since over 15 years, I think, a very long time. And for us, the education and the partnership with the DHBW is very important. Why? For sure, you told a little bit of what I did before I became the tourism manager here in Baiersbronn. It's 13 years now that I'm the tourism manager in Baiersbronn. Coming from the practical thing, well, I'm a chef. I know how a hotel works, but at the same time, our apprenticeship is a dual education, but not on a university level, but on the working level. So having good employees in the hotels is the basis, and for sure, for us as a company, it's also a privilege to be partner at the DHBW, because over the last years, it was always possible to overtake our students into responsibility, into responsible positions. So now we have, I have to count, five former students of the DHBW we overtook right after their studies, and now they manage events up to 15,000 people and so on. So right after the DHBW, and this is one main part. What is very important for us, a student who passed the DHBW knows. Yes, I can say is the education is a hands-on, universal or academic education, and so I don't have to make my mind when there's a problem to solve to tell our students, "Hey, go there, just look what you can do," and then they present me a good solution, and this is what is very important for me. And on the other organization, the National Park Region, we founded in November. We had, I can tell you a little bit. We had a lot of people who wanted to work with us, and we had two perfect fit. Was heißt Bewerber? Attendance. On the job, and we decided to take a former DHBW student, because we have the National Park Information Center opens hopefully in several weeks. The state of Baden-Württemberg invested 50 million euros in this thing, and in this information center, we will run a tourist information and a little shop. And so for solving these problems, coming with a reopening or a startup thing there, I know that when our project manager Miriam Geiser, I can, when there is a problem, she will solve the problem. And this is based on the education, the dual education, and this is what gives me a good feeling. And this is why I'm so convinced about the dual education and dual universal education. I don't know if I had too much, if I talked too much, but...
No, it was wonderful. Thank you very much. And it was very interesting. I really liked what you said, especially the hands-on academic education. Maybe that's really a bit what we are doing. Hands-on, but academic in both is important, to be very hands-on, to be to solve problems as an employee, but on the other side as well be an academic. For us, this is not easy sometimes, because we have to, prepare the young people for both, to solve problems in the companies, but as well to prepare them for academic career as well. A lot of our students want to go on with a master degree, and so, but this is what I really think nice and interesting and sometimes challenging thing for us. So Patrick, thank you very much for giving us your point of view, your expression, and your what you told us, and hopefully a lot of our guests today will visit Baiersbronn or will visit the Nationalpark region Black Forest. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now I will hand on to my colleague Stefan Lupold. Most of them know him already. He's professor in Ravensburg and a mice expert. But before I will hand over to Stefan, we will see another short movie. The movie is from Brenner's Park Hotel, and this is another hotel in the Black Forest. The hotel is a partner company of our university. And the movie shows how Brenner's Park Hotel is presenting itself for potential employees, students, and people who want to work with them. So, Thomas, maybe we can see the film. Thank you.
Für mich war das Brenner schon immer was Besonderes. Ich kam natürlich her, habe mir das Ganze angeschaut und habe mich direkt so in das ganze Hotel verliebt.
Brenner's, is kind of a symbol of the Baden-Baden, It's very gorgeous hotel.
Überzeugt hat mich vom Brenners, dass ich hier direkt total warmherzig aufgenommen wurde. Also es war gleich so, du bist ein Teil vom Team.
Ich treffe hier vor allen Dingen im Brenners ausschließlich sehr, sehr herzliche, offene und auch sehr liebenswerte Kollegen und Kolleginnen.
Dass wir ein Team sind, das ist, glaube ich, immer ganz wichtig bei einem Unternehmen unserer Größe, dass wir nicht nur im F&B ein Team sind, sondern wir sind ein Brenners Park-Team.
Wir Studenten haben auf jeden Fall und auch die Auszubildenden haben den Vorteil, dass bei der Wohnungssuche auf jeden Fall am Anfang Personalwohnungen gestellt werden.
Für mich ist Baden-Baden eine wirkliche Wohlfühloase. Also ich finde es besonders schön, weil man hat eine hohe Lebensqualität. Man muss jetzt nicht viel Zeit damit auftun, mit wann nehme ich welche Bahn, wie komme ich wohin, sondern es ist alles fußläufig gelegen.
Also man hat hier wirklich die Chance, wenn man mit Engagement dabei ist, sich selbst weiterzuentwickeln. Ja, ich selbst sehe das als große Chance, es ist eine große Ehre für mich, hier arbeiten zu dürfen.
Die wichtigste Eigenschaft, die ein Mitarbeiter bei uns mitbringen muss, ist, dass er motiviert ist, dass er das Feuer in sich drin hat. Er muss Bock haben, hier mit unserem Team zusammenzuarbeiten, weil für alles andere sind wir da. Wir bringen die Trainings, wir bringen die Coaches mit rein. Ja, wir bringen das nötige Fachwissen, aber die Soft Skills, das ist das, was der Mitarbeiter zu uns mitbringen muss.
So great, and good afternoon to all our visitors, and hello to my friend Gerhard from Festspielhaus Bregenz. Good to see you again. Happy to add one great location one great dual partner and one great friend of mine to what we've heard so far. Gerhard, we discussed that it's maybe easier, instead of having a question and answer session, to hand over the microphone to you. And you can introduce yourself, your company, which is a long-term dual partner company, and speak a little bit about your experiences concerning that dual partnership, the role as a company, how you handle students, and so on. So happy to have you here, Gerhard.
Thank you, Stefan, for the invitation for this afternoon. Hello, everybody out there. Stefan introduced myself. I'm Gerhard Stübe, one of 3 general managers in 2 different companies at the Festival House in Bregenz. Bregenz is a capital in the most western part of Austria, directly at the shore of the Lake of Constance. At the Festival House, we do have 2 different companies. So we divided 2 economic parts. The one company is responsible for a huge opera festival, which takes place every year between the end of July until end of August. We welcome there about 250,000 visitors, and we do the huge operas on the biggest stage on the lake worldwide. This year, if you're interested in, we will show Rigoletto once again. We do it twice. That means two times, 2 years in a row. The other company, Congress Culture, is responsible for more than 200 congresses, events, shows, concerts between end of August and end of May in the next year. So it's really important what they said before in the film of Brenner Spa and Hotel in Baden-Baden. If you want to be part in the tourism business, in our case in the meeting industry, you have to have focus on customer relations and customer satisfaction. Therefore, more than ever, soft skills are needed in combination with all other required expertise and knowledge. And I'm convinced soft skills can be learned and developed. Therefore, our collaboration with the DHBW is very, very important. And if you think about how could we develop soft skills in our company, for example, we, about 7 years ago, together with 12 business partners around the Lake of Constance, which means from Germany, from Switzerland, from the Principality of Liechtenstein, and from Austria as well, we started to develop a further education platform co-founded by the European Union. Until now, more than 300 employees took part in these analog and digital workshops, achieving just one goal: being the best hosts ever. The workshops are intensively interactive. Therefore, you have to be open-minded, need to get knowledge and asking about the right questions, and you need to have skills to receive the right answers. And also for that, I'm convinced that the duality of the education at DHBW is so very important for us, because what the students learn in their student program is they have a 3-month period time at the university, and then they have a follow-up what they learned theoretically at the university here at the Festival House in Bregenz, which means we bring them to the unit managers, to that part of a study program which they had at the university. We want to bring them here, for example, to the marketing unit or to the technician unit whatsoever. So this is, in my opinion, a really, really big advantage of the system.
So Gerhard, they become part of your team already when they start. They have some duties, and they also get back, of course, a kind of a practical experience. I think I have in mind that some are then already project leaders or heads of a project.
Definitely. The students learn about our way of thinking and acting in a very early stage of their education. They are part of our corporate culture from the beginning and have the chance to develop their self-confidence in a proper way. What brings us to the biggest benefit? They are ready to take care and responsibility for their own projects right after their graduation. So we give them projects so they can develop their self-confidence. Of course, our unit managers are around them, but they are responsible for projects right after their start at the festival house in Bregenz.
That sounds great, and having in mind that you are such a long-term dual partner, I guess there have been quite many different students at your company. And what happens to those students after graduation? Yeah.
Yeah, we had let's say our collaboration is right now, I think, 11 to 12 years. And it's the third student, because we take one and another over the period of the study program. And so 2 out of 3 are now in our office. And Matthias, he was the first one. He's now deputy unit manager of the event unit here at the Bregenz Festival House. And he's responsible, let's say, also responsible for all the 200 events which take place during the year. And the second one, she graduated last year, and she's, I said to you, she is a rocket. So she's really good in soft skills. She knows how to handle the customers. She knows how to handle us, and she knows how to handle her. So this is really, really good. And I'm convinced this is the outcome of this combination between theoretical periods and practical periods.
That sounds great. And as I guess that many of our attendees would like to learn more about your company, we have prepared a little movie, Gerhard, and I would like to ask Thomas to present that to us now. Great, just short but high-level insight. I know that plays quite well because we always exchange experiences, and this is maybe related to one question, Gerhard. How do you feel is the communication between you as a dual partner and us as the university?
So it's a really good communication. For you or listeners, Stefan and I, we came together, let's say, each 2 to 3 months to talk about the news of the university, to talk about the things which happens in the industry. So we are in a in a good communication to each other, and the discussions are very, very important also from my point of view for the university and also for the industry. So we are, it's not a cooperation, I would say, it's a collaboration, and this is the very important thing of it.
Unfortunately, we are very close, not only in mind or in opinion, but also geographically speaking, which makes it much easier than exchanging on a quarterly basis with colleagues from Hamburg or Berlin, for example. Well, Gerhard, now looking at a maybe last question concerning your benefits, because of course we learned you are managing talents, you are growing talents, which helps you to gain personnel and great people for your team. But are there any other benefits you can report about?
What else are benefits for us? I mean, as I said, the biggest benefit is that your students are fit for the industry right after their graduation. I mean, this is so much benefit, because otherwise, if you have practical people, employees, you have to learn about the people, how you have to bring them or tell them about the corporate culture. So, and it took more than a year to get benefit out of what you invested in the people. So for me and for us, it's really the biggest benefit that those students are ready to go after their graduation. And of course, I would say it's also the uncomplicated system. It's really a good one. And you remember in our communications, we discussed also when we had some challenging times with the third student. It was really, it was, I would not say easy, but it was really good that you listened to us, what we need for our student, and you changed examines, you stopped her semester, so she got seriously ill, and she could do their semester the year after. So what I want to say is you are really flexible also in your mind, and this is also very important for companies like we are companies. So I would say this is also a benefit coming out of a good communication, coming out of this collaboration, to be flexible and see what is the need of the companies of your dual partners.
Super, Gerhard, thanks very much for that. And looking at my schedule or our schedule, I would like to hand over to Joe Tanti again. And thanks again, Gerhard.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Connie and Stefan, for facilitating these very interesting interviews. Thank you also to the excellent speakers for sharing their experiences. I have to confess that although we are here speaking about the dual educational model, it brings certain tourism experiences to our minds. And whilst I was interestingly listening to these interventions, they brought nice flashbacks to my beautiful visit to the Black Forest. So well done. Thank you to our German colleagues. And now we pass on. We go from Germany to the Mediterranean. Perhaps we can also share and pass over some of our beautiful weather. And with me, I would like to introduce a panel of speakers who will be sharing their experiences about the dual educational model. And I'm going to start with Nuno. Nuno Barbosa, who comes from Portugal, a good friend of mine when I visited Portugal. So, Nuno, I'm a bit worried also about the time. Time is very short. I try to direct you right away to a question which will hopefully help you to share your insights with us. Considering that you run yourself a micro business, it's a small business. This is, so what aspects of the pilot experience would you consider to have been the most challenging to your company?
Okay. Good afternoon, Joe. Good afternoon, everyone. It's amazing to be here sharing this experience with you. Going directly to the point because of the schedule, I think some of the most difficulties we met and faced during the pilot was according to the students that came to our company, first to do the integration and then to make the joining of the time that they have available at school and the time that the experience happens in the company, because most part of it happened during a very low season to tourism. So in order to that, that makes the experience less enrichment for them. And for us, it becomes more challenging in order that we must focus in integrating new aspects of the training. In this case, it was very interesting because it gave us opportunity to focus the attention of this program towards some issues of the company, such as the social media.
Okay. A supplementary question is, what could be done, in your opinion, Nuno, to minimize these challenging for us, for the project partnership and others in the industry for future experiences?
Well, in my opinion, Joe, it has to be, well, this year also the pilot we made was mainly on the low season. Of course, then it was expected also, but COVID pandemic did not allow it to have another part that would be out of the low season. And I think the idea would be more to make the experience time of the students in the companies to be in a time of the year that is more with some movement of medium-high seasons, or that the time of the students would be more compact and less distributed. Because if we talk about one afternoon or one morning or something like that, distributed per 1 week, sometimes you cannot really give them a sense of experience, a professional experience, and then you also cannot take really the benefit out of it for the company. Of course, here in my case, we are talking about a micro business. We even developed a little program to improve our analysis towards our Instagram and our Facebook pages and our communication improvement. And I think when I do an evaluation, it was nice, the job that Mariana and the other students also gave in an input of what we saw we could do. But well, I think in the future we can maybe work a little bit more in the time the student is in the company and then on the season.
Very interesting, Nuno. Thank you very much. And I hope to see you soon in Vienna.
I hope so. Or
and
in Malta.
And you will be my guide.
Yes. Big hug to you and to everyone, and thank you very much.
Very good. Thank you, Nuno. Thank you. Okay, we come to the next speaker, Ante Mihanovic from the Radisson Blue Resort and Spa in Split, Croatia. Beautiful Croatia. I hope.
Okay, I'm here. Hi, everybody.
There you are. How are you,
Can we hear each other?
Very good.
We hear each other good, yeah, okay.
Yes, very good, very good. I'm hearing you well. And so, Ante, we are here to share experiences. The pilot experience was based on the principle of the learning trio. Now, for the sake of the participants here, it's good to explain. The learning trio is based upon obviously the tutor in the higher education institution, the university, the business tutor, and the student himself or herself. That's why we call it the learning trio. How would you describe the dynamic and the collaboration process between all parties involved?
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Hi to everybody once again. So the collaboration between the learning trio, as we say, was very great. I can say the professor David, which I say hello, I use this chance to say hello to him, was really good. He accepted all the inputs from the income project. He would call us, the partners. He would give us tasks, what to do, how to do it. So it was really clear, and it was really good information flow from the side of the project. As the students are concerning, I really enjoyed this experience, but I really liked the thing that we went to the university, we had the chance to meet them all, and they had the chance to meet us. So basically, it was the first step that we found it who is compatible with who. So the students chose the employers, and the employers chose students, and in the end, who is compatible came to us. So basically, that is the first thing I really liked. The students on the other hand were really interesting in this project, and that is really important. I think they had the interest and had the patience to come to the hotel, which is very busy. They came to the time, it was very busy time. So the mentors that they had, they mostly went through all the departments they could go through possibly. They were really curious, they were really interesting, they were really patient, and they had a task, and every month in every department they had to do a little test that we gave them to see which information they collected, how good they managed in that department, and in the end, which soft skills they acquired through that time in that department. Let's say reservations department, they had to, I don't know, answer calls, do the business mails, so we can see how the communication is with the students, and their teamwork ability between other things. So, and as far as we are concerned, they really managed their time on the college and their time on with the employer. So it was really good.
Ante, thank you very much. Any suggestions for us that for universities and also in relation to company tutors, the students themselves, suggestions from your end that we could improve this experience?
Okay, I think the most important thing is that I don't know, employers. I would like to have them invest more time in mentoring the students, because as I said, students come to the hotel, which is very busy. We have many tasks to do for our jobs, and when the students are there, we cannot spend too much time with them. And I would like to express my for the future, so we can spend some more time with the students. Let's assign one person which will be for the students when they come on that day, but that is more on the side of the employer mostly. Yeah. I don't know, that is the biggest problem, I think. Yeah.
Thank you, Ante.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Really enjoy to participate.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye-bye. My next speaker is, I would like to invite Yazin Billah. I hope I pronounced it well.
My name is quite challenging, so don't worry. Bo Ayala, that's
you're
it.
You're trying to be nice to me.
A pleasure to see you all again.
Really excellent on the soft skills. So you are nice to me. You go, okay. Put the hard stuff on my chat, you know. So
we have to make the example, you know.
Yes, very good. Thank you very much for being with us here today. And what I would like to ask you and to share with our participants is that after this experience, do you consider that the implementation of the dual educational model in the tourism sector or even other sectors, because, okay, we're talking about tourism, but we also would like to share this with other sectors outside tourism in general. How you know, we're talking about Spain, your experience in Spain. So what would be an important change to be made to this?
Well, first of all, I would like to say that the success of the experience, it's quite remarkable. I mean, for us in a so dynamic industry, because that's what they consider that happens always in tourism, it's always constantly evolving. It needs to combine both things, the common knowledge and the academia of the university, with a constant, evolution that we can see here in the industry. Sorry. So by using the dual model, what we see is that we are giving the overall picture to those students and to those future, members of our industry, and by that we are helping them to progress within their careers. Of course, there are challenges, and we are developing a project within all Europe, and we have different dynamics that we see at the universities, because they have different kind of systems that they apply. But here in Spain, specifically, I will agree with what Nuno said before, that the challenge that we've been facing during the last year and the past one was that we had to combine the availability of those students with their dedication to the university. The challenge here is just to find a better way, to collaborate between the two entities, between the two stakeholders, to continue providing that knowledge to the students, but also to organize it differently, to allow them to integrate themselves in a better way with the company. Here in Spain, on the last year, because this program was developed for students that they are on the last year of their degree in tourism, well, they have all their specialization subjects. So each one of them has a different timetable with a different dedication in a different day of the week, and that makes it a little bit challenging in order to allow them to see all the operations in the hotel. Here we are a full service resort, which means that we don't have only the accommodation part of the business, but we also have the gastronomy, we also have the sports within the football pitch and the golf course. We have the wellness part, so it needs time. It takes time to train them and to let them see all the operations. But I think that was the most challenging thing that we've faced during this last year. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you, Yassine. How are you looking at the coming months in terms of business? We're opening summer. Hopefully, I know it's a slow pickup, but how are you seeing tourism? Because at the end of the day, it will affect the people joining the tourism industry as well.
Yeah, the importance of the tourism industry in Spain, as in most of the southern countries here in Europe. But the perspectives are good. We rely on mobility. So once the mobility is restored, because the situation is under control, then we will see an explosion of bookings and demand. We are perceiving that every day. You know, people is calling, they are asking about when we will be running, you know, without any limitations, and they are wishing to experience again our beloved, you know, industry and the kind of experiences that we are providing to them. It's not something that it's avoidable. They need to experience back all the things that we are providing. So in that sense, I am very positive here that we are just, you know, next to the French border, and we also rely a lot with the French customers that they are crossing all the border, and now we have all this policy with the PCRs that they need to check them before to go back to France and all that. Well, they are just waiting for the opening of the season, and they will be enjoying it. So I'm quite confident. Of course, we've been challenged as all the colleagues that we've seen today, but we are positive. We are positive.
Yes, thank you, Yassine. And that's the spirit that we need to keep ourselves, all of us, and see you in Spain.
Thank you. See you.
Thank
Bye.
you. Thank you, Yassine. Okay, so from Spain, we move to Malta, where I am presently, not very, very far away. We have the next speaker, Michela Tanti from the beautiful Grand Hotel Excelsior. I cannot see her yet. Michela?
Hi, Joe. I'm trying to start my video, but it's telling me that I cannot because the host has stopped it. Okay, yes, it's fine now.
Ah, very good, very good. By the way, the host is not me.
No,
okay?
don't worry, I thought no.
Okay, all right. So, a nice welcome to Michela. She's been fantastic on this program. She's been very helpful. The support that she's given to our students. She's our ambassador also. So, Michela, we are here to share experiences because this is way how we learn and you know, we improve for you know. So, could you tell us a little bit about how you ensure that each student integrated with the rest of the stuff? I think that's my first question.
Yes, absolutely. So this was a great opportunity for us. We had very fruitful experiences through the program. Basically, when your colleagues Joe first got in touch, they sent us the applications of the students who were interested in coming over with us. And we were told kind of there are 4 applicants, but choose 2. And when we sat down, we interviewed them, we had a structured interview. They were all so motivated and so positive. And although they had very little experience, I mean, obviously they were just first-year students at university studying tourism. We said that's what we want. We like their attitude. We want to put them on this training program because ultimately they could be the new recruits of tomorrow. So then we chose all 4 of them basically. And we spoke to each of them regarding their preferences as such, because obviously, although they were studying tourism, the tourism course at University of Malta is very broad. So some of them had more of an interest in, say, operations, front office, for example, whereas others were more interested in marketing. Some were interested in accounts. One of them had, she was just excited to learn everything at all. So we came up with a development program for all of them, targeting different departments and different areas, obviously according to our needs, but their own interest as well. And it was great. They integrated very, very well with our team. Although they weren't with us for such an extended period of time, unfortunately, for obvious reasons. However, the fact that, first of all, the people that we picked had very, very friendly, very positive attitudes, that was a very big help. The fact that they chose to enroll in the program was optional for them. So the fact that they enrolled in it already showed a certain element to their personality and to their motivation. And the staff, our hotel staff, are very much accustomed to having students. Our hotel believes a lot in students. Apart from working with university students, of course, we take students from the Institute of Tourism Studies in Malta and various international hospitality schools. So we have a positive attitude towards students. The students were welcomed. They were both observing kind of the day-to-day tasks and operations of wherever they were scheduled, but also they were given some small projects to help out with as well. So they had the opportunity to challenge themselves and essentially to put into practice certain theories and concepts that they were learning in their studies.
Yes, very good. Okay. I have to say that considering these tough times, I mean, Michaela hosted 4 students, so thank you very much once again for that. I also would like to take this opportunity because when you were mentioning when they send you the CVs and so forth, for the people who are doing this work here, and I would like to specifically thank Maria and Mario and their teams, obviously, for liaising with you, with the University of Malta, because so. My next question would be, Michaela, before we approached you as a hotel, you obviously had already good experiences with regards to students coming to your hotel, placing them and so forth. This was a pilot in itself where we really focused on the trio element, in terms of the communication aspect. Again, for people who perhaps have just joined us, what are we talking about when we talk about the trio? Is we're talking about the actual tutors responsible for the students. So we have the tutor from the university or the lecturer, who is responsible for them. We have the in-company tutor and also the student himself or herself. So we worked on the responsibility of these 3. Obviously, this was a pilot for us. And excellently guided by our German colleagues on the dual system. In your opinion, and obviously you're an HR expert yourself, Michaela, would you say that the dual educational model could serve as the ideal stepping stone for students striving to get acquainted with the world of work? Some
Yes,
sharing
it
with
was
us.
definitely. To be honest, it was fantastic to have the support of the tutors. In fact, we often do this when we have student placements. We like to keep in contact with the tutors because we want to make sure, obviously, that we're offering a placement opportunity which is in line with what they need to learn, obviously, to further their learning. And it helped a lot. We had the support of their lecturers. They came over as well to the hotel. They sat down with the students. They sat down with us. And most definitely, I think that this is a great way to bring together, obviously, education and industry and to streamline it a little bit more. Something that we could also do perhaps in the future would be having visiting lecturers from the industry going over to university perhaps or to other institutions and to share our experiences even in the classroom, because I think that would really help as well to bridge the gap between education and industry.
Yes, thank you, Michaela. Would you like to add any other tips or?
Thank you so much for the
Very
opportunity.
good, very good.
Forward to
And one
working
final, since we're talking about Malta, I also would like to acknowledge Dr. Maria Ballino, who's the head within the Tourism Institute of the University of Malta, who walked this journey with us. So it's important to acknowledge all the people who were involved into this. Thank you very much, Michaela. And from Malta, we come to beautiful Italy. And today we have Elena Andreotti from Gruppo Gattinoni. Hello, Elena.
Good afternoon, everybody. Hello.
Ciao, tutto bene?
Tutto bene, grazie. In ripresa.
Sì. So, I mean, also, it's nice to conclude in a positive note as well. Not that the others were not positive, but it's good also to finish on a high note also. So, in your opinion, what is the main benefit for the companies like yours who decided to support the dual educational model? We would like you to share some experience on this.
Yes, well, I can.
We realize also that there are some students there, so this, so it's an encouragement also for our students.
Yes, of course. I can talk about our experience. In Gattinoni, we explore tourism in all its different perspectives, from the typical travel agency to business travel, meetings, congress events, and of course we have the tragic stop in the last year, as all the operators in this area. When we started talking about the dual model with the University of Bergamo 2 years ago, we have been glad to give our support for the project, because we have always hosted students in our company, but never with this modality. So at the beginning of the last year, Marta joined our company in our headquarters in Milan. And we decided to involve her in the startup of a new project called Made to Pick, and a brand, a new product line of Gattinoni Travel, focused on the solo traveler. This product is made up by escorted tours with a little number of participants, from a minimum of 4, 6 to a maximum of 10 participants for each departure, and speaks to the generations of 25, 40 years old. And these potential clients live on the web era, and the web takes a big part in their lives. Studies on this target show that they love to travel alone and meet new people during their journey. And the way they use to socialize is simply doing the same things and traveling on the same itineraries. So we had some local tour leader of the same average age that bring them to discover the local experiences. We decided to share this project with Marta because it was something new that it was burning, and so Marta could participate to the company project, looking every single step from the beginning, and at the same time she was able to follow her lesson. Marta cooperated with the project leader, interacting directly with the DMC, our local suppliers around the world, in order to manage the itineraries and the experiences offered. Then she uploaded all the itineraries on our web platform in order to let the tour be at the disposal of the clients. Unfortunately, COVID arrived and we have been obliged to close the training, but we hope that Marta could, however, have an idea of what means work in a company. And from our point of view, we can say that the dual model can be considered in our company, but of course it needs organization of time and tasks.
Yes.
COVID has actually stopped every stage in our company, because our offices and our travel agencies have been closed at the beginning of March last year, and we had the necessity to use a payroll subside. We are already using it, and this implies that we have the staff works less hours with the shifts, and we can't guarantee a correct and successful training to our trainees. But we are sure that to go back to normality as soon as possible, and we hope to have early other students in our companies.
Yes, that is very important as a last statement that you made there, because from the beginning, many, I think it's about a year and a half ago, or even 2 years, when the income project management team from Italy approached you, about this pilot, things changed considerably because of pandemic. Nobody knew about that this pandemic was going to happen. So I can understand you as a hotel. You were already suffering, and then we are approaching you about this experience, so I can understand. So a lot of adaptations had to be made to this pilot, how we do it, so then it turned out to be more also project focused. So I'm sure the students had a lot, benefited a lot, but
Yes.
Elena, you feel even yourself as a company benefited, even though with all these different adaptations that had to be made.
Yes, I think that, well, my positive note is a wish, maybe, to be able to restart with a strong passion without forgetting what COVID has shown. In particular, I think that we have understood that we can work not only in our office, even if we love sharing our works with other people, and that we can ask younger people to help us to be more technological in order to adapt our way of work to the new necessities. I think that this is a particular moment when we need to have a student in our company because we have a work to teach them, but they have a new approach to teach us. So I think that it's very important that training starts again.
Very good. Grazie mille, Elena.
Thank you.
Ci vediamo in Italia. Okay.
Perfetto.
Thank you very much. I really would like to thank all the speakers of this panel. Excellent. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed talking with them, and I'm sure even our participants, they really spoke from the heart. They were passionate. So thank you once again, Nuno, Ante, and Yasin, Michela, and Elena for really contributing to this webinar. Before I come to my concluding remarks, because I think we're in time, actually, yes, perfect timing. Are there any questions that came from the chat, or shall we proceed? I think we can proceed with the concluding remarks. Okay. Hearing a silence, so I think I will start to conclude.
Yes, there are no questions in the live chat.
Okay, very good. Very good. I'm seeing, am I clear, or is it a bit echoing? Yeah, okay, no problem. So, my final remarks, I thank the Income project partners for successfully, obviously, coordinating the third edition of this webinar series. I would also like to make an announcement, an important announcement for all our participants who joined us here today. There will be a fourth webinar and the final project conference, which will both be taking place virtually on Tuesday 18th and Wednesday 19th of May. So a very few days, we really invite you to join us. The fourth webinar will bring in the academic perspective on the piloted income tourism learning model, whilst the final project conference will adopt a forward-looking approach vis-a-vis the learning of the cooperative learning in the participating Mediterranean states. With that, I thank you all very much, and I wish you a good afternoon, and